Hey vinyl community, this is Chris. I'm back to do another video in the Acid Archives Diaries series. So this one will be for the album Bittersweet. Hypnotic 1 is the title of the album. And in the background you hear the first track on side A playing, called Speak Softly. So 1968, they were from Long Island, New York. This is on the ABC label, so another one of those major label releases that's in the Acid Archives. So I'll play a couple of samples from this. 9 songs on here, and all but 2 are written or co-written by Steve Duboff, who's in this group. And one of the ones, there's a Lennon-McCartney song, If I Needed Someone. And then there's another one, How Can I Make You See, which was written by Artie Kornfeld and some of the Cowsills. And Mr. Duboff went on to write with Artie Kornfeld on some other songs. They wrote the Pied Piper for Crispian St. Peter's, and they also wrote a song for the Cowsills, The Rain, the Storms, and Other Things, or something. I forget what the title was, but so let me show you the record. So that was just going into the sort of Middle Eastern break in the center of the song. Before that, it was just kind of a ballad with strings. There's the ABC label, 1968. Stereo copy. Oh, this one's got little hole punch there in the corner, but other than that, it's not in too bad a shape. Side A, 5 tracks, though the banding sort of makes it look like there's a definite band between after track 1, which is the Speak Softly. Then the next 3 are kind of grouped together, but there's some slight banding that you can see under the proper lighting. But otherwise it looks like 2 tracks, and on the back side it looks like 3 tracks. But there's actually 5. So that was Speak Softly, written by Steve Duboff. The second song is 2066. Let me put that on for a second. It has a few side effects, sound effects. The third track's The Beatles, If I Needed Someone, a George Harrison composition. 4th track is called With Love, which is another Beatle-y type song along the lines of Penny Lane, All You Need Is Love, Strawberry Fields, that type of song. And then A5, the last track on side A is called Monday Tuesday, which is kind of a vaudeville thing, kind of a throwaway, or one that isn't one of my favorites. So 2066. Now I'm going to switch it over to the other side, and it'll start with Diamond Studded Eyes. Diamond-studded eyes, sort of a sunshine, pop, psychedelic song. A little bit of an effect in there. And the second track is How Can I Make You See, which is sort of an up-tempo pop psych number. And third track is called Travel, which is sort of an exotic type or lounge song. And then the last track is A Second Time, which is sort of a long orchestral, almost spoken word piece over the orchestral workings. So they had a nice single issued in 1967 called Out of Sight, Out of Mind, which is has a little bit of value, and it's more psychedelic, garage psych than this. I forgot the label, but that was put out in 1967, and it was featured, or there was a snippet of it in a film called Penny's Blonde on a Bum Trip. That came out in 1968, and it has them in the background in one scene. All right, I'm going to switch this one to the final track, then I'll read the Acid Archives review. So this one's A Second Time is what I'm going to put it on. Which I said was sort of a long orchestral piece with sort of singy on top of it. Sort of a heartbeat sound going on there. So Acid Archives, a 1 for a rarity, hasn't been repressed. This pop psych album gets points for early willingness to experiment, and it includes some very primitive electronics. The opening track starts out sounding like mediocre orchestrated AM pop, but then moves into an unexpected and cool sitar interlude. The rest of the album follows suit, with most songs being both bad and good. For example, the second song, 2066, mixes a pop melody that would make Herman's Hermits proud with some somewhat random synthesizer or theremin over top, and some sci-fi lyrics about the year 2066. If they'd never heard Sgt. Pepper album by the Beatles, they would have been a second-rate association wannabe. As it is, they're a second-rate head shop or aggregation wannabe. Fans of Beatle covers might get a kick out of their version of If I Needed Someone, which dispenses with the song's best asset, the jangly guitars. While this may seem like a negative review, the album is actually pretty fun and has some catchy songs. That said, as this kind of thing goes, there are dozens of better albums. The mix of guitar pop, soft rock, trendy psychedelia, and occasional soul brings to mind the Sundowners, who are not in the Acid Archives. A long orchestrated instrumental has the feeling of not being done by the band at all, a la Chocolate Watch Band. That's what we're listening to, the long orchestrated instrumental. Of course, there's vocals. So, and then they say the pick hit is the dreamy With Love, but they have a typo in the book and they say With You, which is not a track on the album. So they meant With Love, which was the sort of Beatley song. Aaron Malinsky is the author of this review, and he wrote basically the same review for the Tangerine Zoo album that I had done earlier. Yeah. Said it was okay, but it wasn't. It was more of a second-rate album too, with lots of other people doing the same thing better. So that was in essence what he said about this. So there we go, another Acid Archive diary entry. Bittersweet on the ABC label, 1968. So thanks everybody. I'll see you later.